welcome back to my channel. It's me, Virginia. Uh, Thank you for joining me today. And if you follow this series, this is just an optional tutorial part, but it's quite long because I am making a gift box for the paper house journal, because the original inspiration for this was the houses journals that I made in a tin box, and I thought it would be a nice presentation of the gift if it came in a gift box. So bear with me. This is quite a long video. I put in together, I think, 3 parts video. I cut as much as I could and sped up as much as possible, and you could probably just skip some parts and if you are planning to make the box, but this is totally an optional one. The last video for this series would be the final flip through. Okay, so let's get started. So that's also why I kind of like stuck with the simple house shape of the journal, because I thought I would be making a box. The base of the box will be the same cardboard backing from the copy paper that are just scraps. And if you made the journal a different size, you could just find a different, or if you don't have this cardboard paper, just find something a little big that would fit the size of the journal that you created or you're planning to create. Those packaging boxes that are big, we could use the base of it. Um, so if it's 8.5, so the center would be like 4.25 of the, this is 4.5. So kind of like here, maybe could not be exact. So what I'm doing with this is, I don't know if I could do it like this. So what I did is, you kind of make the box with a little allowance on each side. So what I did with that was kind of left like a centimeter on each side. And then the height of, so far, this is with the ephemeris inside, and then I kind of like compressed it when I wasn't working on it. So I actually measured it 2 inches before, but it got compressed after pressing it with some heavy books. So but I will make the width of the box, the depth of the box, 2 inches, so that if you want to add some ephemera, you could just put it inside the box and not pack it separately. So okay, so let me find the middle. This time, this one, I have to use the ruler. I know we kind of like try to go away with measuring, but for this one, so that I won't be wasting the cardboard again, like what I did when I was off camera. So so this is kind of like the middle of it, and then this one being 2.5. So it's gonna be like this. So what I did was kind of like add a centimeter to each side of the journal. I did with centimeter because it's a little smaller. So I'll mark it off. So if you want to add some charms, embellishment to the side of the journal, we have enough room. And then we're gonna be kind of tracing the shape of the journal again, but this time it will be bigger than the actual size of the journal. So I wanted to add a little centimeter there in case we wanted to add some here, and just make it a a little room. Okay, I think my head is gonna be in the camera. So, okay, let me put this little charm over here so it's out of the way. 1 centimeter allowance on each side of the journal. So I'm just gonna go trace it with a ruler. So I want to make sure, we want to make sure that we have enough cardboard on the sides of the depth of, or the depth of the box, which I said was gonna be 2 inches, more or less 2 inches. So we'll stick with 2 inches, so it's not odd. So on here, I want to shape the roof. So I got that little allowance there. May not be the same. Let me see. That's okay. I think that's okay. It's gonna fit, right? I have pretty much enough. I just wanted to make this straight. So that's gonna be the base of the box. Okay, I hope I will cut it right. So basically, the idea with the box is we want to, when we fold the flaps, this is going to be the side. We want to make sure that we have an excess flap where we can glue the next side. Okay, so we'll show it together. So let me measure the 2 inches on each side of the boxes. So the 2 inch of that will be, oops, okay, it was just about right here. So I almost did not leave enough. So on this part, I sped up this part, but what I'm doing is measuring the 2 inches on each sides of the box and outlining it with the ruler. So that would be the depth of the box. So 2 inches on each side, including the diagonal side of the roof. Again, I apologize. My recording is a mix of the original recording where I'm really talking slow because I'm not used to talking while working. So, but and some of this, like this voiceover, a little faster because I'm trying to make it the video faster. So it's just a mix of both. I apologize for that. Let me show you what I did beforehand. So this is what I did. And then I taped it up, or I paper clipped it. So when we fold this over, we want to make sure that we have flap on each edge of the sides of the box. So that's where we're gonna glue the box. Okay, and it's just easier to remember. I did it all on the right side because I'm right-handed. So I'm gonna save that flap here. And for this, we kind of like have a diagonal edge here. We're gonna have to do a diagonal. So the best way for this, I think, would be to measure it to 45 degrees, but I don't have my, the ruler that measures the angle, so I'm just gonna eyeball it and then work with it. So this is the flap that we're gonna save for this side. So I'm gonna put an arrow on the flap that we are gonna save, so I don't forget. And then this one will just draw a straight line, but we have to fold and crease on this side. And then I'll mark that this is the side that I need to save for gluing, right? And then, yeah, this is another angled side. So kind of like, I think if we use the, I don't know what it's called, maybe a protractor, or yeah, that. So this one can be cut off, and then on this side we need to make that angle again, but we need that flap. Like what I said, the flap I'm saving would be all to the right, so I'm gonna mark it, make sure I don't cut that flap. And then this one is just straight, okay? And then on the last part, so we kind of like went around, I'm sorry. So this, I need, so I'm gonna draw straight here, but I will need this flap end for folding it. Okay, but just, okay. So I'll cut off the trims first. So this sped up part, I am trimming off all the excess parts of the cardboard that's not gonna be needed in the actual box. So let's just make a crease with a bone folder for the actual base. So here, sorry guys if this is making it more complicated. Like what I said, you could just skip to the part of okay, so I kind of like made creases with the bone folder along the shape of the house. Okay, so let's cut it. I did cut it there, and then we're gonna cut it here, but we are not cutting here because we want to keep that flap, right? So let's cut it on here. So when you fold your crease, let me set this aside so I have more room. When you fold your crease there, this is gonna be the height of the box or the depth. And then we fold this crease here. This is what's gonna fold over there. I think I made a little. Okay, so we're gonna cut along here. And when we fold the crease here, and then we will fold this crease, but we are keeping this flap because that's what we are gluing onto the next side of the box. Oh, okay. I thought it was short, but they're kind of like the same height because we did the measurement. Okay, so we're not cutting here. We're just folding on that line, but we are gonna cut here at the end of the arrow because that's the flap. So it's to my right side. Gonna crease it. Then when we fold it over, So we're gonna fold it here. It's easier to crease with a bone folder here. You could see it better. So this is gonna be the box, the next side of the box. So this side, we could remove this because we already have this flap to glue with. So we could cut it and take it off. So moving on to the next flap or side of the box, we're gonna cut it here at the end of the arrow. But we're not cutting this, we are just folding the crease. Okay, so when we put it together, let me make the crease, fold the crease better. Okay, so we got that. And then on the last flap, so we have this, we're not gonna cut it because that's the flap that's going to connect to the next, to the side of the box. So let's make the crease. Okay, so this is the base of the box. So I'll show it with you guys in paper clip. So, and what you're gonna do is to glue it later, but if we are designing the box, which is what we're gonna do, right? Okay, we will glue it later after we have placed something. So this is how you're gonna glue it later on. So in the meantime, I'm just gonna paper clip it and we could move on. So you're gonna glue it here. We're gonna glue it here on this side later. Then this one goes in here. You could also like just make it look like that they're all, the little flaps are inside, so it's kind of like even. Okay, there's a little excess on the side, so you could kind of like trim it so it's not actually even, and that's okay, we could trim it off. Voila, we have a box for the house. It might be slightly bigger. Oh yes, it got a little bigger, sorry. It's okay, we could stuff it with more stuff or some ephemera. Okay, so you do the base of the box first because when we make the cover needs to be a little bigger than the actual box so that it will fit on top. So it's basically the same idea. We just want to make it a little smaller, but we don't have to make the 2 inches excess on each side. So maybe half an inch would be good enough for the cover. So but the excess, so this is what I'm gonna do. I don't want to measure anymore. So okay, probably I want to make it slightly a little bigger because when I collage this with prints, I might make it a little thick. So let's do, I want to use the longer ruler. Okay. Slightly, I mean, I think it's like I'll measure it later after I draw the lines. Okay, so this is the base. I hope you can see. This is the base of the cover box, but we want it a little depth to it so that it will fit into the thing. So the same way, let me see, let's see, maybe half an inch. I'll do half an inch on each side. Half an inch, that's generous enough cover. Half, so I mark the half inch on each side, half an inch here on the diagonal side, and then another half inch on the diagonal side. Oh, okay, I'm recording. I fear that I am not recording. So I'll trace those half inches marks that I did. So here we're speeding up the process of outlining that little extra space or outline, which will be the side flap for the cover of the box. And then we're gonna trim it off later. I like to work with the smaller ruler. I'm gonna mark it with the arrow so I know which flap not to cut there. And then on this side, I'm gonna mark it here so I know where to crease it later, but we're not cutting this flap. And then onto here. I have to save this flap, and then this one I have to trim this flap, and then on this side I have to save this flap, and onto this last side I have to save this flap. So it's all on my right side. If you are left-handed, you could go the other way. So let me trim this off. Now, same thing that we did with the actual box. We're gonna be creasing the sides where we are gonna be folding the side flaps of the cover box, and then we will be cutting it shortly after. Okay, so we're gonna cut it, but we are gonna save the flap, so we're gonna cut it here because we need this flap, right? We are gonna cut it here because we need this flap, and then we are gonna cut here because we need this flap. This could go, or actually you could actually save that, I think. And then we go here, we need to save this flap, and then we cut here because we need this flaps. Okay, so let's fold and crease the flaps. And I figured that we could actually make boxes of any shapes. Would just be a little bit more challenging with different shaped ones. So I really don't want to glue it, right? So I will paper clip it. I should have, okay, they are, I should have done a smaller paper clip. Oh, my box there, I should have done it this way. Okay, I forgot the diagonal cut, the angle, but it's okay. We could just, I won't redo it. I'll just patch it up later with something. Okay, we could glue it now, but like what I said, if we want to decorate it with some pretty prints, which is what I'm gonna do. So this flap, no, this, so I made a mistake. Remember where the roof is, it should have been diagonal angle. So that flap should have been like that. But it's, this one is okay. This one's a little short, but we'll fix it. I'll just fix it with my paper later. The cover paper. And then this. And we'll test if it fits as a cover for, it would have been better if we glued it together. So let's see. It's perfect. A little loose. Maybe I could adjust it. Yeah, it's kind of a little loose, so I could just adjust it a little bit, cut it off a little bit. We're gonna be covering or decorating the box. Like, let me set aside this house a little bit to the side there. And off camera, remember the last time when we made the box, it was a little too big for the cover, loose. It's still loose. I just made the adjustment on one side. I didn't go all the way out. So just to the side, so it will be a little slimmer to fit. But I left it still loose because I think when we cover this, it might get thick. So that's what my thinking is. If it's not, then we'll just have to work around it. So I did put little paper clips to the side because we are gonna glue it later when we finish with decorating the inside. So for the cover, which I can't use just the scrap because this is a bigger piece and I need a few more pages, I picked a print from her, the latest Christmas before, I mean, that was 2023. It was, it's titled Christmas Star. And it's kind of a little off the color, but it's okay. You know, me, sometimes I like mismatched things. So, because I wanted to select from that kit, so I picked these images. So, I think I'll use this for the outside cover and the pretty. And using this kind of like dotted green. This green color was also inside some of the prints on the journal. So what we're gonna do here first is cut the base of the shape of the house for the big part of the inside of the box. And we'll do that later. And then I'll just keep talking. You'll just see it happen in the next steps. So tearing it to the shape of the house, which is the actual shape of the box. And then I'll be tearing pieces of kind of like strips for the sides of the boxes with some excess, a little bit of an excess on the sides, so that I could overlap it into the next side, so there won't be like too much gaps on the sides. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna be, yeah, I think I'll tear all the parts first, and then glue it later. Okay, so let's glue. We are gonna glue the base of this here, and gluing is pretty simple. I will just use my because there's a lot of glue that I'm gonna put in there, so I'm just gonna use my tacky glue that's in a jar, because this is how I glue my stuff when I have a lot of gluing to do. Now, before we could glue on each, but the way I cut this is not enough to cover that. So what I'm gonna do now is glue the flaps of the boxes, so that the box is finished. So, and this one I have to use the tacky glue. I mean the fabric tack, so it will be tight and dry quickly, fast. So we got that covered there. So I will be gluing this. And what I'm gonna do is kind of like just glue it to the side. I mean, it's hard to see on the video, but I will just apply the glue. Oh, it's too much. So like I mentioned earlier, those strips of prints have that I cut have a little excess than the actual length of the sides of the box, because I want to overlap it so there won't be gaps between the on the sides. I switched to the little silicone brush because it's easier to maneuver than the card that I was using. Okay, so the inside of the box is covered. We just have some excess bits of papers that I am trimming it off. And then we'll be moving on to covering the inside of the cover box. So for the cover box, we're going to be doing the same thing, except that the side flaps are a little smaller than the bigger flaps of the main body of the box for the cover. So you'll see me doing the same thing. I'll try to cut as much as I could of the video to shorten it a bit more. So basically, we're doing the same procedure with this. And I think for the side flaps of the cover of the box, I just made, I think I just did two long strips, and then we'll just continuously, two or three maybe, and then just continuously glue it around the inside flaps after I glue the cardboard base a bit faster than cutting each pieces away, which you'll see if I don't cut that part. So gluing time right now. cover of the box is dry and sturdy with the, what was that, the fabric tack. I'm applying the uh, tacky glue around the inside flaps of the box, and then we're gonna I cut it off. We're gonna glue the two strips all the way around to cover the inside of the inside flap of the box. For the cover, it's the same thing that we're gonna do. I won't be talking through it. We're just basically covering the flap. And you know what I'm gonna do is cover it this way, glue it this way, and then I will cut the strips later onto the side so that it's faster. I don't have to cut. I'll just do some little excess onto the side. Okay, I think it's faster that way. So let me apply glue onto this top of the cover. So you'll see in here that I cut it so that when I glue it, there will be overlapping spaces for the printed paper. So it will cover the entire thing. And I just use the fabric tack for this because it's fast, yeah, so that it will dry faster. But you could use any glue that you have. The they're so cute. Okay. Okay, now let's do the other side. So I'm gonna do it this way. Oh, I love the front side. I mean the part of the print that got printed. Got that. So we want to make sure that we have, when we glue it, we center it. It's just a little excess onto the. Okay, I wanted to make sure I have enough, but if not, we could just patch it up with excess. So I marked it, the corner where I will glue. Okay, I'll just do. So the same in here, when I cut the sides of the paper, there will be like an excess overlap that will be gluing on top of the next or under the next side of the printed paper, so that all the sides will be covered. Okay, the inside, where we have the base and the sides, there's kind of like a gap It's not so obvious, but um, what I did with the finished one was kind of like gild it with some gold wax, which you'll see in the end. I didn't record it in this video. So gluing the sides, the flap, cutting off a little bit excess paper, so save on a little bit of glue. But basically, the entire sides of um, the box will be covered. Put this aside, we got a box. Okay, like what I was saying earlier, that we could make windows and doors to the box, but we're not doing that. Okay, and so here's our thing, our journal. So for sure, the next part would be the flip through, and I will seal this with mud no matte gel medium. That's what I use, and I know when we seal it, it's gonna be a little thicker, so I think the excess is just right for this. It's okay. So I'm gonna seal it off camera, and I'm gonna gild the edges with some gold gilding wax, so it's more finished. But aren't those so pretty? Okay, well, thank you for joining me in this part of this tutorial. I'll talk to you in the final video, which would be the flip through. Okay, thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.